Revelation chapter 2. Unto the angel of the church of Ephesus write, These things saith he that holdeth the 7 stars in his right hand, who walketh in the midst of the 7 golden candlesticks. I know thy works, and thy labour, and thy patience, and how thou canst not bear them which are evil. And thou hast tried them which say they are apostles, and are not, and hast found them liars, and hast borne, and hast patience, and for my name's sake hast laboured, and hast not fainted. Nevertheless, I have somewhat against thee, because thou hast left thy first love. Remember therefore from whence thou art fallen, and repent, and do the first works. Or else I will come unto thee quickly, and will remove thy candlestick out of his place, except thou repent.
Welcome to another weekly news broadcast, MoCo Resistance. My name is Harold Maldonado. Welcome you to a new episode for this week. Today is December 4th, year of our Lord 2023. We come to you with episode 20 after a few days after the Thanksgiving break. Hope everyone had a happy Thanksgiving with family and friends. All right, let's get started. Today we are going to touch on episode 20, and we've entitled the episode Council Doubling Down. And this comes about the county just basically doing everything they can to push their agenda, to push their UN 2021 and 2030 agenda. And we're going to talk about that. Here's the game plan for episode 20. And before we start, I'd like to welcome new listeners and viewers to the channel. Welcome to the MoCo Resistance. And to those of you who listen to us on a weekly basis, welcome back. Okay, so the game plan today is going to be, we're going to talk about current events, and we're going to talk about how the council is doubling down on their policies. And as many of you know, the council has stepped up their rhetoric in terms of pushing for things that are not of the best interests of residents in the county. So let's get started. In current events, we're going to talk about the following. We're going to talk about Twitter, Musk defying the cancel culture. We're going to talk about America fighting back, minorities waking up to the fact that the Democrat Party is not working for them, and that they have lied to them and used them all these years. And we're going to talk about a statement made by Superintendent McKnight over the findings of the General Attorney's Office regarding the case of the sexual harassment and misconduct by a former principal, Beetleman. And then we're going to talk about the Board of Education, of course, a statement on the County Inspector General's report on Beetleman. So let's get started. We're going to talk about Twitter, as we always do, bring in the Twitter feed to talk about what's going on in the news. And the big thing that happened this week was, in the past week, was Elon Musk basically telling everybody and their grandmother that he's not going to be blackmailed by any company. And he is basically fighting against this cancel culture that has the power to make and break careers and destroy people, destroy innocent people, destroy the integrity and professional integrity of people at their will if those people do not conform to their woke progressive narrative. So I'll let you hear what Elon Musk has to say.
Apology tour, if you will. That this had been said online. There was all of the criticism. There was advertisers leaving. We talked to Bob Iger today.
I hope they stop.
You hope?
Don't advertise.
You don't want them to advertise?
No.
What do you mean?
If somebody's going to try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money, go fuck yourself.
But
go fuck yourself. Is that clear? I hope it is. Hey, Bob. if you're in the audience.
Well, let me ask you then.
That's how I feel. Don't advertise.
We give kudos to Elon Musk for standing for thousands and millions of people that basically want to be left alone, and they want to have the freedom to do and say as they wish, and their rights to be respected. So kudos to Elon Musk for fighting the fight for us. All right, let's continue. Here's my tweet. The tweet reads, "The chokehold Democrats have on minorities is dissipating in real time. America first." So this is a news report from the Bronx, who is basically a lot of minorities live there, Black and brown communities, and they are turning away from the Democrat Party. And this is a report from the Bronx.
The Bronx is the bluest of New York City's boroughs, and the only borough with a Hispanic majority. President Biden got 83% of the vote here in 2020. But now the Biden campaign is seeing polls coming out saying President Trump is gaining traction with voters of color, even younger voters. So I came to the Bronx to put a face on the numbers, and I was shocked by what I heard on the streets. Do you think that President Biden is doing a good job with the economy?
No, he's not doing nothing to support nobody.
Was he doing a good job? Yes or no?
No. I can see we're all going to be in the streets homeless.
Biden and his press secretary said that prices are going down. Is that your experience, or is that not true?
No, that is definitely not true. Prices are definitely going up. I used to go across the street to Fordham to go get me a meal. I can't even get me a meal because that meant $20.
Minority communities, we're not seeing the improvement. There's inflation with everything: food, gas, insurance prices. I mean, you name it.
Bidenomics is not working. It's just a complete mess. It's a disaster. Especially here in New York City, we're feeling it very hard.
If you could say anything to Biden right now, who says that the economy is improving, especially in Black and brown communities, what would you say to him?
That's lies. I believe that's lies. Heavy lies on that, for sure.
Do you think that somebody else besides Biden should be president?
Yes,
next time?
Of course. Bring back Trump.
Tell me why.
We have money. We had money when Trump was president.
Free my son Trump. Free my son Trump. Trump 2024, everybody. Trump 2022.
That's crazy. And we're here in the Bronx.
I'm gonna vote for Trump if he runs, because I feel like it was much better when he was here financially for everybody. Not just me, for everybody.
I'm definitely voting for Donald Trump. He made sure we had money in our pockets. He was for the people. He made sure we had what we needed. I feel like everything will go back to how it was. I mean, ever since he's been out of office, everything's declined.
When Trump was president, my life was good. Economical-wise, I was doing so much better.
They're saying it's going to be Biden-Trump, so who will you vote for?
Oh, I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna have to go for Trump. Sorry.
I'm going to go for Trump. Trump. Always Trump.
Here, let me see. Who are you voting for?
Trump.
Feeling the pain of price hikes is one thing, but the show of open support for former President Donald J. Trump on the streets of the Bronx was very surprising. And it's the sort of thing that has Biden campaign strategists looking very carefully at the messaging around Bidenomics as we get closer to 2024.
All right, continuing, we have Chicago. We have a tweet from I Mean, Therefore I Am, where he or she writes, "Watch fed up Black Chicago residents calling out the Democrats for prioritizing migrants over their communities. They are also expressing that for the upcoming presidential elections, Black communities should explore alternatives rather than supporting the Democratic Party." So again, America first. America is waking up. America is on a path of awareness, and this is great. This is good to see, and this is happening not only in parts of the country but everywhere. You saw last week the president, the new president of Argentina won, and he is Argentina first, anti-woke, anti-climate change, anti-transgender curriculum in schools, etc. So this is happening everywhere, and this should give you some positive news and some positive vibes going into what's going to be a very eventful month of December as we close down the year And as we continue to fight against this Marxist occupation that we are under here in the county, I'll let you hear the lady's comments on this. And
let's talk about the money that is being spent. I think that there needs to be a federal audit against the company that we have contracted out to take care of the migrants. We have nurses that are being paid $64,000 a month. We have security officers that are being paid as much as $24,000 a month. We have home health care workers that are being paid up to $17,000 a month. You don't think that Chicagoans could have benefited from that? We have citizens in this city that have been on the waiting list for affordable housing for years, and migrants have been bumped in front of them. We have people who have been given up to $9,000 a month for housing assistance. That amount of money can be life-changing for some families here in the city of Chicago. We are not anti-migrant. We do sympathize with them. But what I am is I am pro-black. I am for my people who have been mistreated, who have been marginalized, who have been disrespected. And it is disrespectful for people to expect us to give up our parks and our schools and places in our community for others. We're not saying that there's not room here, but what we are saying is that we are not going to step aside for you to accommodate them when you have continued to leave us out of the equation. So I'm not just talking to Brandon Johnson right now. I'm talking to Governor Pritzker, and I'm talking to President Biden. And I want you to understand that as we run into this upcoming political year, where the Democratic Party is on the menu, hear me. People of Chicago, of Illinois, and of the United States, it is time for us as black people to stop voting party. It is time for us to stop voting color. It is time for us to start voting our self-interest. And if the Democrats in the city of Chicago, the state of Illinois, and the country of USA refuses to listen to us, then it is time for us to start looking at other alternatives. People, we are looking at other alternatives. We will not step aside and continue to be mistreated. We will not continue to be disrespected. I'm looking at people who are coming here from another country, given work visas, given social security cards. Nobody is asking them what walk of life that they come from. You don't think that our brothers who have been in prison, who have come out and who have changed their lives would benefit for the same opportunities that we're giving these migrants? And I'm not saying that they don't deserve those opportunities, but what I am saying is we deserve them first. What I am saying is you can't continue to put us on the back burner and think that we're going to continue to be okay with it. We've done that for long enough. And what we're saying here today is that is no longer acceptable. We're saying to our city, we're saying to our governor that you're not going to continue to set monies aside for people who don't live here and disrespect, mistreat, and forget about us. You've forgotten about us. You have treated us as if we don't matter. And we're saying to you, you're not going to continue to do this. We're saying to you to see us. You're dumping people into our communities who are going to at some point move us out of the way. And what I say to you, if you want a glimpse into what's going to happen, look at how people of color are being treated in Venezuela right now. We seem to forget that Venezuela was one of the first places that had African slaves that they were taken to. We're forgetting about that. And so we're forgetting that there are blacks in Venezuela who are being treated the same way we are. And so for us to expect that they're going to come here and be put into our society and treat us differently is a pipe dream.
All right, let's continue. And we have a tweet from Serenity The tweet reads, illegals in New York are demanding better housing and complaining about the cold. Put them in a rail car and send their blank back. So again, Americans everywhere, and especially in Democrat cities where illegals are massively going there, and they're taking up space, they're taking up resources, financial resources, and they are taking away the resources from Americans. And this is not right. And the county here also is doing that. The council is doing that, and we'll see in the deep dive in the second part of this episode. We're going to talk about how the county council is doubling down on its supporting and financing its sanctuary status, and how that is affecting us directly. And basically, they want to be treated as first-class citizens, where and at a time where U.S. citizens, U.S. veterans are not treated at all fairly, and they're demanding that. So this is a result of the Biden administration's policies to open the border and to bring in illegals in order for them to use them as they have minorities for decades, which is to vote for them in elections and use them as pawns, basically. So I'll let you hear a little report on this.
In despair, visibly exhausted, dozens of migrants refusing to leave this hotel in Midtown Manhattan. This Venezuelan man saying he's tired and cold, questioning if this is the harsh reality of the American dream.
This is exactly what I've been talking about for months. The entitlement mentality. And of course, the luxury hotels made the entitlement mentality even worse.
Tired migrant men demanded to be allowed back into the hotel.
Y hay que caminar como una cuadra y media para irse a duchar. No hay agua caliente, las camas son camillas de emergencia.
It's not what I thought. The lawyer charges you $10,000 to work with you on an asylum case, then 10 years to be able to leave the country. I don't have a passport. If you don't have a passport here, you're nobody.
Wait, what? You're gonna charge us money for work documentation? No. We're not gonna pay like the other immigrants have done it in the past. So you mean to tell us that we may even have to pay attorney fees? And wait years and years to have some form of legal status? That doesn't make sense to us.
No nos ayudan.
Andres tells us he's from Venezuela and arrived in Chicago from Texas a week ago, saying they were promised they would get help here, but so far there has been little.
We just want the work papers now so that we can get hired right away. Doesn't matter that even some Americans right now are having difficulties getting a job.
She and other 5 Venezuelan mothers who are staying together have written a letter asking for government assistance like WIC and Medicaid.
You see, so we do want to work so that we can rent a place, buy a car, and maybe down the line, buy a house. Because, it is that easy, right?
All right, let's continue. We have, again, the Black community is waking up to the fact that the Democrat Party has lied to them, and they have used them. And here's a tweet from Salty Goat, and the tweet reads, "People are fed up, y'all. Listen to this man. Democrats are giving illegals $1,500 a month for each child." Think on that. A family of illegals with 5 kids get $90,000 a year. That's more than most Americans make. So this gentleman is fed up. He's the leader of his community, and talking about, and I support him, and a lot of people in other places in the country are waking up to this fact also, that the Democrat Party does not work for Americans, and they have an agenda, and that agenda does not include any American citizen, and they are favoring illegals. They are moving financial resources, creating financial resources, and that's why you see a lot of inflation also in the economy, because the Biden administration is printing money like there's no tomorrow. in order for them to fund all their agenda objectives. And one of them is to flood all the cities, all the country with illegals, and to create to destabilize our communities. And that is the agenda that they're following. They want to create chaos and create solution at the same time, as we've always said. That's what the World Economic Forum has pursued. That's what it has directed. And the Biden administration, along all Democrats at higher places in government and in state and local levels, they're following that agenda. So I'll let you hear about this gentleman.
Let's have a meet with the Republican Party. If Trump want to come to town, come and meet with us.
Trump 2024.
Come have a meet with us, Trump.
Trump 2024.
We are not going to stand idly by while you starve our community. Let me say this again. You and our community, us as a people, period today, these are our children, and they will not be targeted while you take and make a better life for a new group that just walked into this country yesterday. $9,000 a month for these people. You know how hard it is? $1,000 to $1,500 for every child, every illegal immigrant child that goes into Chicago public schools. You give them money for uniforms and computers and all these things. We're not going to stand down, and we ask that the Republican Party come and sit down and have a meet with us.
Yeah.
Okay, let's continue. We have this lady back again. She's talking about this is a tweet from Uncensored USA. The tweet reads, a message to DNC and Joe Biden. We are done with the Democrat Party. Yeah, I support that. And this is a great time for America in terms of it's the Great Awakening. People of all races and creeds and religions and political affiliations are waking up to the truth that our leaders in the political spectrum do not work for us. We've touched on how both about 99.9, 100% of the Democrat Party and about 50+% of the Republican Party are not working for the Americans, and they're not working for the best interest of families in the United States. And the chickens have come to roost. And that's why you're seeing this reaction. People are waking up, people are seeing the truth, and you can't hide anymore. I'll let you go ahead and listen to the lady.
Chicago and any Republican candidate in the city of Chicago, now is your time, because we are done with the Democratic Party. Brandon Johnson, Governor Pritzker, and President Biden have showed us what they think about the black community all over this country. And so we're standing here today to say, okay, if that's what it is, we with it. We don't have to support the Democratic Party. Right. We don't have to continue to support people who are not going to support us. And the Democratic Party here in this city, in this state, and in this country is not supporting us. You got the Republicans on one side and the Democrats on the other side. Guess what? They're part of the same bird. That's right. So it doesn't matter anymore which party we go with. But I'll tell you this, I'd rather deal with the snake that's outfitting himself of the Republican Party than the snake that's covered up in the Democratic Party. That's right. We're not going to continue to stand for this. We're not going to continue to allow our state representatives, our congressmen, our aldermen, and our mayor to let us know that we don't matter. Just like you're going to show us that we're going to matter, we're going to show you. It's going to be a great day in the city of Chicago when the Democratic convention comes here, and then they found out in March that a lot of black voters took Republican ballots. Deal with that.
All right, let's continue. We have changing things a little bit. Coming back to our neck of the woods, we have a tweet from Maryland Politics Hangout. And the tweet reads, Monifa McKnight should be fired immediately. We here at MoCo Resistance support that. She is the worst superintendent in history of Montgomery County Public Schools. A statement from the Montgomery County Public Schools Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Monifa McKnight. She responds, the investigative report about Dr. Joel Beedelman released today by Montgomery County Inspector General clearly and professionally documents years of disturbing and egregious behavior. The report finds that this behavior indisputably violated both MCPS policies and the Employee Code of Conduct. Okay, this is not a shocker. We knew this since day one. So where's the action? Where's the disciplinary actions? So I echo Maryland Politics Hangout sentiment that this is just hot air in terms of the response from McKnight. She's part of the problem. She's part of the Marxist occupation. She has an agenda, and that agenda will not does not include improving the lives of students and in terms of the curriculum, in terms of the material, in terms of increasing reading and math scores. She needs to resign immediately. All right, let's continue. We have on the same topic, we have the statement from the Board of Education, and the statement reads: the investigation by the MCPS OIG regarding allegations of misconduct by Dr. Beedelman confirms some of the most troubling aspects of this matter. The Board of Education is committed to using work, blah, 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 blah. So it's basically, again, they're going to cover for him. Probably, they're going to probably do something. All right, so there's your MCPS, your Superintendent of Education, and your Board of Education. Nothing concrete. There's tons of evidence. You don't need any more research. You don't need any more investigation, and you have failed us completely. Taxpayer money that goes into this is basically a waste of money because you haven't done anything. All right, that does it for current events. Now we'll jump into covering county council doubling down. So let's start with this piece of news. So we have the council on December 30th joined, the tweet goes, Montgomery County, the Human Health and Services Committee and other committees will discuss a more than $2.2 million special appropriation for the OEMHS Respite Center for Arriving Migrants Grant Program. So this is a proposal that was done on November 30th in order to allocate $2.2 million to service illegals coming into the county. Again, this money could have gone to other places like the police department to address the rising crime that we're seeing all over the county. But again, the county does not work for us. It lies to the residents. It lies. It abuses its power. And what is this doing? It's basically supporting the sanctuary status of the county. And by this action, the county is paying off associates. And in this case, they're paying off an NGO, SAMU First Response recipient of the $2.2 million, and they're based out of DC. Not even an NGO that has its headquarters in Montgomery County. So what is this doing? The council's wasting taxpayer money. And this decision was unilateral. There was no public input into this, and we would definitely have used this funding to improve the roads, the infrastructure, for the police department to hire more police officers, and to improve the investment environment of our economy. But they're not doing that. They're concentrating on bringing more illegals. The county is not doing great in terms of job creation, and the economy is stagnant. So why are you bringing a lot of illegals? The economy can't support them, cannot absorb them. The economy is not creating jobs. I see a lot of illegal migrants at 7-Eleven all over the county. This is not great. This is just unacceptable. And again, the county Council is doubling down on its policies because they have full control. They have no accountability. And this is worrisome. This should wake you up. And again, we ask you please to share these episodes within your social circles, friends and family, and because we need this information to reach all the households in the county. All right, let's continue. So this special appropriation will allow SAMU First Response to continue to provide respite services, including emergency shelter, food and transportation services for migrants arriving to Montgomery County. The organization's current funding provided by the Federal Emergency Management Agency's Emergency Food and Shelter Program will end on December 31st, 2023. So they're planning ahead. And they are moving forward with continuing to use our money for things that are not conducive to anything positive. If there was a war, if there was something going on internationally in Latin America, for example, I would understand this. But we have a crisis. We're being invaded. And we have, in addition to bring a lot of people, we have within those groups, we have terrorists, we have Chinese and foreign nationals that are military-aged men. We have terrorists from different places, Iran, Syria, in Afghanistan, you name it. And as of recently, we saw a lot of Chinese men coming in from the southern border. So that should wake you up even more. I mean, we've been saying this since day one, and this is just more proof, more information that corroborates our assessment of why the Democrat Party is doing this. It's an agenda. It's an agenda to destroy the country. Things are not going to get better. We see a lot of crime. Crime rates and all types of crime have increased, and this is not going to end. Unfortunately, we're only going to see an increase of this. All right, let's continue. So we have information from Clean State MoCo from Greg Vishner. He's the contributor to Clean State MoCo, and we have an article from him. And the article reads: "Nonprofit cronyism is in MoCo, siphoning millions from we, the taxpayers." And he goes into defining what cronyism is. And it's basically, cronyism is a specified form of in-group favoritism, the spoil system practice of partially in awarding jobs and other advantages to friends or trusted colleagues, especially in politics and between politicians and supportive organizations. So this is what we're seeing in the county with CASA Gate and with all the money being siphoned to NGOs, especially CASA. And now we find out that we have another NGO, SAMU, that is working directly with the council. So we have a corrupt and compromised council. You need to understand this in order to understand the behavior of the council and how they pass laws, bills, etc. That has nothing to do with improving the lives of residents at all. Let me ask you, how much is your property tax this year? How much are you paying for groceries? Do you feel safe going out at night? Do you feel safe letting your kids, teenage kids, go out at night? Any part of the county? No. Things are going in a decline, and there's a reason for this. We have corrupt and compromised council members and an executive that is working for the Tacoma Park Communist Cartel. All right, let's continue with this article. Thank you, MoCo, Clean State MoCo, for providing this information. And of course, here we go. CASA's original mission providing services to immigrants, a mission it still pursues today. It receives substantial funding from a variety of governments and other entities that support benefit navigation services, tenant counseling, employment training, financial assistance, healthcare, assistance, immigration, legal support, and more. The graphic below, provided by Montgomery County's Public Information Office, shows that CASA has $16.4 million in active contracts with our county government as of this moment. Let that sink in. Last week, we talked about them receiving over $6 million between 2018 and 2022. But this is that falls short in comparison to what we have right now. We have active contracts with CASA, between CASA and the county government, worth $16.4 million. But why is CASA receiving these contracts? And we have a breakdown of those contracts. And thanks to Adam from Montgomery Perspective for providing this information as well. So we have a table. We have contract description, supplier, funding source, encumbered, amount received, remaining balance. So we have housing initiative funds for the Pine Ridge Community Center. And of course, the supplier is CASA of Maryland, and they're receiving over $167,000 for this project. Navigation services to connect recently arrived immigrant and asylum-seeking youth and families. Over $1 million for this. And let's see, let's check out the big items. We have line 4. The money is coming from Department of General Services, $5 million. And this is to provide capital support for the renovation of 14645 Rothheft Drive, Rockville, to use as a workforce development and training center pursuant to County Council Resolution 19-1400. So you have $5 million going for workforce development. Oh, wow. There must be receiving very high-end classes. I mean, they should be speaking English in like 3 months, and providing them with at least community college level education with this money, right? Wow. And we have tenant counseling and housing initiatives, almost $1 million. And this is coming from the Department of Housing and Community Affairs. And then the next big item is employment and training. Wow, they're spending so much money on that. $5 million or $4.8 million for this. And then the next big item is what? Provides for comprehensive immigration relief screenings, direct representation to DACA and other relief eligible beneficiaries, and direct referrals to complex cases. Over $1 million. Of course, that's going to go into the expenditures for legal services. And we have $2.1 million going to multilingual health navigation line medical interpretation. So you have, so this money is going for associates or people who help these migrants receive interpretation services when they are going through the health screening process. Over $2.1 million. That is insane. So this is where your money is going, Montgomery County. This is where you're paying for this. You're paying for this with your property taxes. You're paying this for your regular taxes, and you're paying this. So, you know, there are problems with teachers, being hired in the county, and also police officers being hired in the county. This is why you have a corrupt executive in a county council that is siphoning money, our money, to things that are not even worth mentioning, that affects any positive level resident. So this is the reality that we're living in. All right. So in addition to this money being funneled to CASA, We have more information. So this is coming from a Montgomery perspective. We again thank Adam for providing this information and for Clean Slate MoCo to use that information and to provide their own comments and articles. So the issue doesn't end here. Last year, County Executive Mark Elrich asked the County Council to approve a 99-year lease for CASA at a nominal sum for a county-owned building at 14645 Rothheft Drive in Rockville. So the same address came up, 14645 Rothheft Drive in Rockville. The council did so unanimously and waived the requirement that the lease be made at fair market value. On top of that, the council approved Elrich's request for $5 additional million in capital money for improvements to the building. So basically, this is quid pro quo, and as Greg Vishner puts it, it's cronyism at its best. It's the clear definition of that. What does this mean? This means that the quality of immigrant services work by CASA can continue to decline as the taxpayers continue to get milked and frankly screwed. But this decline in deterioration does not matter. The market can't speak for us, the taxpayer, because we are under threat to fork over property taxes to the county council. And meanwhile, CASA solely relies on government grants. So it has no actual reason to reform, improve, or deliver better services. There's nothing voluntary about this crony arrangement. It is divisive, destructive arrangement that shuts out potential new policy innovations and nonprofit organizations, while siphoning millions of dollars away from taxpayer-demanded services like roads, bridges, and clean schools. So I've talked to parents and teachers in the last week, going around the county, and we have a lot of schools that when it gets really cold, their heating systems don't work, and kids have to wear their jackets because it's too cold in their classrooms. Maybe this money could go to make sure that the kids in Montgomery County have heating in their classrooms. So I'm disappointed, and again, I'm not shocked, but I'm disappointed that the county council is doubling down on everything that is against the best interest of county residents, and this is just shocking. This is shocking. And if this doesn't wake you up, if this doesn't even slightly wake your interest in terms of finding out more about what the county is doing, I don't know what will. So this is just the tip of the iceberg, by the way. We are 100% guaranteed to find out more shady financial deals, more shady activities by the council. And this is just a great example of how the CASAgate issue is not going to stop here. We have $5 million going for capital improvements of the building. We have Elrich requested a 90-year lease for CASA. So they're not even a market value. Wow. And then they're siphoning what? $60 million in terms of contracts they have with the county. I like to be the contract operator for CASA. I bet that guy is making a lot of money. All right, let's continue. And of course, we have the perpetrators of this crime, the perpetrators of this falsehood, the perpetrators of abusing their power to siphon money, to steal our money, to use taxpayers' money in a wrong way. We have Elrich, we have Gabe Albornoz, we have Evan Glass, we have Low IQ Jawando, we have Sales. This lady, I've heard her talk a few times. No idea, no clue. Did she even go to college? Minx, the racist, right? Here's the woke progressive puppet, Kate Stewart. And here's the lady who defends and protects criminals. And here's another puppet. She just smiles all the time. I don't know. Maybe she's really happy with her job, or maybe the money she's receiving on the side. I have no idea, but she's really happy, very happy. Look at her. She never doesn't smile. That does it for episode 20, County Council doubling down. We shared some information. We shared some nuances on what the county is doing, and this should definitely be of concern to you, the taxpayer, the law-abiding citizen of Montgomery County, and this should force you to be active. We want you to be active, to get active, because we're losing the county. We're losing our education system. We're losing our schools. We're losing our streets. We have crime. We have criminals running all over the place. And our property values are increasing at a time where they should be decreasing in order for us to get some relief in terms of property taxes. But as you know, the values of our homes are artificially pumped up by the county council because they need higher home valuations in order for them to get the most out of the tax increases. They wanted a 10% increase. They got a 7.5 increase, but that's still high. We'd like to thank everybody for listening to the show. Thank you for watching. We appreciate your time. We'll continue to work, and we'll continue to provide information as much as we can, and we thank the contributors, of course, at Montgomery Perspective and Clean Slate MoCo for providing their nuances. So this is a joint effort. A lot of people, a lot of grassroots organizations are popping up, and people are waking up and getting active on social media. So we ask you to do the same thing. And as we get into the final month of the year, we like to ask you to, if you can contribute to the channel. Put a link below where you can make your contributions. We're fighting a multi-million-dollar local media and media machine that basically has all the resources to push the false narratives. And as we showed you, we're here to provide you with facts, and we're here to provide you with the best quality of information in order for us and you to be aware of what's really going on in the county. We ask you to please subscribe to our channels on Telegram, YouTube, and Rumble, and follow us at Twitter and Facebook. We are the Resistance. Join us.
Revelation chapter 2. Unto the angel of the church of Ephesus write, These things saith he that holdeth the 7 stars in his right hand, who walketh in the midst of the 7 golden candlesticks. I know thy works, and thy labour, and thy patience, and how thou canst not bear them which are evil. And thou hast tried them which say they are apostles, and are not, and hast found them liars, and hast borne, and hast patience, and for my name's sake hast laboured, and hast not fainted. Nevertheless, I have somewhat against thee, because thou hast left thy first love. Remember therefore from whence thou art fallen, and repent, and do the first works. Or else I will come unto thee quickly, and will remove thy candlestick out of his place, except thou repent.